guys? It is the Sportster Bradley Walker, and welcome to the Walker Report, part of NGSC Sports. Guys, remember the website, it's NGSC Sports for all your current sports content. We are also a part of Snowman Multimedia Sports, Game Winner Sports Network, and Mancini Media. Guys, we have three sponsors on the show, CreatingZenSpaces.com, GarrettScarrots.com, and FunWags.com. CreatingSpaces.com, the local choice in St. Petersburg, Florida, for house cleaning, organization, decluttering, and pet sitting. It's about finding the peace within you and adding comfort to your life. And guys, remember, Zen Spaces begins with you. Be kind to yourself and one another. We are sponsored by Garrett's Carrots. Illuminate your inner self, shatter the trending norms, and open up your world to a newfound level of confidence and admiration. Garrett's Carrots. Designer jewelry and luxury accessories at GarrettsCarrots.com. We are also sponsored, and we have a new sponsor. That's right. If you guys have not been on the show since we have the new sponsor, it is FunWags.com. It is a pet treat company that caters to dogs, cats, rabbits, and rodents as well. Basically, how the company started, guys, back in the basis of it started in 2021 and began in 2022. The mascots are Zoe, Roxy, and Odin, who I got to meet personally on Saturday. But they are, what happened was a dog got sick from eating treats from a shop. My friend Sophie went home and was able to make her own dog treats that were safe for cats, dogs, rodents, and rabbits as well. And the ingredients you can pronounce, and there's only 3 to 5 of them. Funwags.com, that's fun/wags.com, is made with loving care for all our fur babies because they deserve the best. And guys, real quick, I do have a golf tournament that I want to give a shout out to. I was supposed to play in this tournament. Unfortunately, I can't get off work to do it. It is on Monday, April 3rd. It is at Heritage Isles Golf Club and Country Club. This is the New Leaps Academy 6th annual golf tournament. This is sponsored by Heroes Mile. It is a substance abuse, post-traumatic stress, and military sexual trauma program designed for military service veterans. Veterans that are treating veterans to help veterans recover and transition to a more productive way of living. You can register for this golf tournament at newleaps.org/golf. You can do sponsors. You can also play as well. But online registration is available as we speak. This school is the New Leaps Academy at 26240 Golden Maple Loop, Suite 101 in Wesley Chapel, Florida. And it looks like, guys, that it is $150 for single golfers, and for a group of 4, it's $125 per player. And you can sponsor holes at $250, $250 to sponsor a hole. Check-in is at 10 a.m. Tee-off is 11:30. I'm going to be going through this until the tournament happens in a couple weeks, but I just wanted to bring that up. And I was, offered to play, but unfortunately, I can't get off work to do that. Anyway, guys, let me bring in my two great co-hosts. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening. There we are.
Good evening. Good evening.
How's it going, guys?
Not bad.
Okay. As long as Zoe doesn't know, we're fine. Yeah. Fine.
Oh, what's wrong with Zoe?
What's wrong with Zoe? Give me dissing on Zoe now. Come on now.
Sorry, I prefer Emmeline as well.
Emily's all right.
Okay.
All right.
I prefer
All right,
Emmeline.
Lou. Okay, I like that. Okay, that's fine. Okay.
Yeah, as I always say, one is the Beauty of the Braves and the other is Zoe. There you go.
Yeah, I tried to get off for the golf tournament, but it's too early in the month, so
Yeah.
my boss will not let me go play. But I got offered a. Yeah, no, I wish it was the Masters. That's in April. That's in April.
Yeah,
that's.
Yeah. You said it was April 3rd, right?
April 3rd. Yeah, it's
because the Masters is that weekend.
Yeah, yep, that is correct. It's Easter weekend.
It's on Easter weekend too. How do you like that?
Well, I'm hoping, Lou. I applied for credentials for the Frozen Four. The tournament starts the 6th, the championship game is on the 8th. So that will be Masters Saturday. So we'll see.
It is every year, though.
Every year. Oh, and by the way, too, I went to a cigar bar today, and the guy that I was buying a specific cigar, and he's like, dude, we're having like a 2-year celebration. I'm like, okay, what day? April 8th. I'm like, well, if I don't go to the Frozen Four, I might go there and watch the Masters. So
there you go.
Situation. So,
it's a good place to take it around to golf.
It's a win-win situation. But everybody doing good? Anything new in your neck of the woods, guys? Anything new?
Well, let's see. I mean, we're in the tournament now. I mean, we had some pretty good upsets in the first round, including 2 from my home state of New Jersey. Unfortunately, 1 is now out. Now, how do you like this though? That you bring your team from a 4-21 season last year. You won your play-in tournament, then you win your first round tournament against number 1 seed, and hopefully will come back. So what happens now? After that, he bolts for another school. How do you like that?
Are you referring from going from Providence to Georgetown? Is that what you're talking about, Lou?
No, from FDU to go into to another conference school in the New York area.
Because I know they've been complaining about the guy that left Providence to go coach Georgetown.
Right, of course.
Something like that, yeah. So they're pretty mad about that.
I mean, look,
switching in conference.
You took it from near death, and now you want to bolt on them.
That's how it always is, though.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how it works. You turn a program around, and then you take a better job somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and then in the same breath, people will go, well, that kid's got to sit on the bench and wait his turn.
That's just like Adam always mentions too with USF. If you have a successful run here at USF, you're not staying here. You're going to go get a better job. Look at Deion Sanders. He wasn't going to stay where he was at. He got a job in Colorado. So, and even if he got a job at USF, I still think he would have gone to an FSU or, a Michigan, Ohio State. If any of those jobs had opened up, he would have gone somewhere bigger,
Somewhere, yeah. But, the grass is always greener on the other side. And in this case, it really is.
Correct.
I understand your frustration. I'm not saying that you don't have any, you're entitled to be frustrated, but when it comes to wanting the best for you and your family, if the Georgetown job comes open, I mean, how can you turn it down? I mean, these are, it's I don't remember I think it's a quote from a movie, but I don't remember what movie it was. Maybe Jerry Maguire, but you say it's a sport and I say it's business. I say it's a business, you say it's a sport.
Yeah, but they have to hello.
And at the end of the day, it's all dollars and cents. And not one of us could sit here and say, hey, well, I wouldn't, outside of your dream job, outside of it, let's say like a Jim Harbaugh in Michigan, or maybe like Deion had gotten the FSU job. G-Money, outside of a dream job, outside of your alma mater, you're always looking for the next opportunity. Unless you have look at Jimbo Fisher. He jumped ship for A&M as soon as they offered him more money.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as they backed the Brinks truck up and they opened, and he was gone within a week. I mean, and Nick Saban, he left Michigan State for LSU, left LSU for Miami, left Miami for Alabama.
So anyway, it's Tobias Harris. He's leaving FDU, or as I call it, Fairly Ridiculous, to replace Rick. That's what we call it. He's replacing Rick Pitino, who was at Iona, and he's moving out. So, but I mean that's a shame though. You took 1 year, you turn him into a team with potential, and then you bolt on him.
I mean, it's just an opportunity for the next guy.
Yeah. Well, watch us go from tournament upset contenders right back down the toilet again.
Nah, depends.
Well, that's the.
I mean, sometimes coaches are when you make a change at the head coaching job, it turns out to be pretty well. You know, they
Sometimes.
stay on the same path. But then, too, Lou, to your point, too, when you change coaches, sometimes kids will transfer because they don't want to play for that coach.
Mhm.
Right.
That's what sucks about that is, you know,
So it
and that
might be a
happens in
one-year
every
wonder.
college sport. So,
Yeah.
Well, you're wondering.
Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe they can become something. Maybe they can be like a BCM.
mhm.
Maybe.
Or what
Maybe
Gonzaga,
they can.
used to be. They used to be like the
Right.
Cinderella. Now they're not anymore, but they used to be.
Right.
Now they're a powerhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
rematch tonight.
Hmm.
Rematch
Who are they
tonight with
playing?
my buddy UCLA.
Oh, the
Oh.
Bruins.
Remember the last time, guys? That was a classic. Went to double overtime. It was on a buzzer beater.
UCLA won that game, correct?
No, Gonzaga.
Oh, Gonzaga won. Okay.
Yes, because I had UCLA. So of course Zach won.
What a game.
So,
What a game.
if you guys were wondering, I did make a mistake on my article that I wrote about the final 16. What happened is I wrote it before the 16 were in stone.
Done that too.
I went back and read my article. I had 12 out of the 16 teams correct. So I got 80%. So anyway, I'm sure Ralph is watching, and I did fix it. Actually, right before I came on here, I revised it, and it was put in. So this weekend, the correct final 16 will be in, and I can actually let me show you the bracket because I used the bracket
Oh,
Yeah, I saw the
article
earlier.
picture. So hang on just a second, guys, and I'll open this and I'll show you what the final 16 look like in college hockey. Let's see here, this one. Right. Okay, now let's do this. Let's see here.
Yeah, I was reading while you're pulling that up, I was rereading my article this afternoon and I noticed a spelling error.
Mm.
I was like, oh my god, I gotta proofread these better.
Yeah.
No,
But
it
some
happens.
games are not easy to spell either, you know.
I just, in all honesty, I thought that I had read online that the final 16 had been determined. And I'm like, yeah, I got it. And then I went in there and he's like, no, how can you post the final 16 when it's not even been posted yet? They're deciding like tonight. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, well,
Hang on just a second, guys. Let me blow that up a little bit because I'm sure that's probably pretty hard to see.
Yeah.
If I can blow this up a little bit. Can you guys see it now?
all we see is you.
No.
Oh, where did it go? Ah! What did you do that for? Ah!
The show's all about
Okay.
you tonight, Brad.
I guess
No,
so.
yours.
Hang on just a second, guys.
That's okay. We can leave tonight.
I wouldn't blame me after I left you guys a couple weeks ago. I wouldn't.
Nah, we're cool.
I'm protesting.
Hey, you're protesting?
Protesting. Can you guys see that, or is it still too small?
Now
What
it's
is-
the four of us and we can't see it.
Okay, that's it. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you guys what it is.
Okay.
All right, so
Oh.
in the Manchester, New Hampshire region, you have Minnesota against is that right?
I saw it
RIT.
earlier, but I don't remember. Yeah.
I don't remember writing about RIT earlier today. Okay.
Hey,
No,
Brad,
that's not right.
don't feel,
That's not right. No.
don't feel
That's
bad.
not right.
When I was doing my topics for the show, I misspelled mania. I spelled it MIANA instead of MANIA.
Oh crap! And I used that picture for my article, and that picture is not even correct.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah,
Dude,
I just realized it too. I didn't even. I just realized it, and I looked at the bracket earlier today.
it's been one of them days, but I totally understand.
I must have put in. Oh, you know what I did? I put in last year's bracket, not this year's bracket. Yeah, I'll have to let Ralph know that I have to change that.
Oh.
Okay.
Here's
that
your
was-
time.
That was a mess up there. All right, come on. Let's see if I can get this right. Is this one correct? 2023. This might be correct.
Okay.
This might be. It's okay. This is supposed to be a fun show anyway, so it doesn't matter. We're not really offbeat or anything like that. We're talking about stuff. Yeah, occasionally we have a show like this where everything kind of goes off the rails to begin with.
Like my connection
That
earlier.
was the first show you.
Okay,
That was
here we go. So in the Manchester region, in Manchester, New Hampshire, you're going to have Boston University against Cornell.
Mm.
I like Boston.
Cornell.
Wait a minute. No, I'm sorry. That already happened. I'm sorry. That already happened today. My apologies. Boston beat Western Michigan 5-1. Cornell beat Denver 2-0. Denver's a defending national champion.
Denver's
anymore.
already
So
out.
there's
Huh?
oh crap! Now my article's really out of the whack now because there's already been games already. In the Fargo, North Dakota region, current. Why is this
70% water,
making noise? Stop making noise.
30% land,
Of course, it's got to
but
be.
the entire sky belongs to us.
There we go. Okay. So that's okay. It's okay to laugh.
It's been one of them days, dude.
St. Cloud
I totally
State,
understand.
Minnesota State 4-0. We have a game tonight at 9:00 between Minnesota and is it Canassus? Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Sounds right.
Canis, Canassus.
Canisius.
Okay, and the Bridgeport region is tomorrow. 2:00 is Harvard and against the Ohio State Buckeyes. At 5:30, it's Quinnipiac and Merrimack. And then in the Allentown, Pennsylvania, you have Penn State versus Michigan Tech, and Michigan versus the team that upset Quinnipiac and beat Harvard and that's Colgate. They'll be playing Michigan at 8:30 tomorrow night.
Of course.
Of course, the national championship game is on April 8th. So, yes, I'm sorry. Those games have already started already. So, my article is going to be past tense, but that's okay because I messed it up last week. So, oh, well, it is what it is. If Ralph wants to throw it out again, that's on him too. So,
Hey, Brad.
yes.
Damn
Yeah.
gremlins.
Yeah.
Damn
Don't
little
feed him
green
after
gremlins.
midnight.
Yep. Don't feed him after midnight. Don't get him wet either.
Brad's been
Right.
feeding them after midnight. That's the problem.
You can't do
Nope.
that.
Nah, you know
Yep.
what? I'll be honest with you. I've had one of those days today, so
Dude,
It's
it's
okay.
been one of those days all day.
it's okay. It's okay. I will say this: I got some stuff done. I have a busy weekend ahead of me, so I got some stuff done, and I have the last 2 nights I've been walking. I told Gerald last night I walked 2.2 miles last night, so I got to lose some weight, lower my blood pressure. So I figured I would start walking a little bit. Tomorrow night I'm going to start walking again. So maybe I'll hit you up, buddy. You available tomorrow night? Have a cigar? Maybe I can do that tomorrow night. I won't.
I gotta work tomorrow night.
Okay, so I won't f that up. I don't think I won't screw that up.
No,
But-
that depends. Which into the just make sure you light
Cigar.
the right into the cigar.
Correct. No, that's right. That's right. Hey, but I had an idea, and I'll throw it by you. I might save those crazy Alices and come have one with you. Just save
That would
both.
be,
I'll just fly up with them. You know.
that sounds good to me. We can smoke them on the way there.
Am I allowed to carry those on the plane in my carry-on, or I got to put that? Okay, I can't carry that
No, you
stuff.
can carry them. You can carry them out with a lighter and a cutter and everything.
And Adam, if
Okay.
you come down here, I take you to one of our famous cigar shops down here downtown. You can actually get hand rolled cigars.
That's what I want. That's what I want, Gerald. That's what I'm looking for too.
I like box pressed. I do like a good box pressed cigar.
Oh,
Yeah,
they have all kinds down there. They even have some in the humidor where you walk into a cool room and you get something out there too.
Oh yeah, I love. If I had real FU money, I'd have a walk-in humidor. I'd have a cigar room. I'd have a cigar room in my house.
But these cigars, when I first smoked a cigar, I got one from down there, and it was so smooth.
I love a good cigar. I don't have any right now. I don't have any money right now.
And hand wrapped. Y'all won't believe this, but it's actually wrapped in the tobacco plant leaf.
Yeah, absolutely. Right there on the floor. And you dry them and you hang them to dry, and then you pick your filler, cut your filler, and then you pick your binder, and then you pick the outer leaf, and you just right there wrap it up right there. You go to.
Once you try a cigar from Babaloo's, you would want me to get them out for you all the time and send them to you through the mail.
Right on. I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to next March.
I gotta go to Ebor.
Have a sample pack. Okay. where you can get all different cigars in one pack and try all of them.
Nice. You know what you were saying about the Crazy Alice? I agree. I was hesitant to try my first Crazy Alice because I like a long cigar. I like a 52 by 6, something in that range, or a 54 by 6. A good stout cigar.
Right.
Find the camera here. Something like that. Something that big around. If I'm gonna smoke a cigar, I want to smoke. But one of the guys at the cigar shop said, if you like the Hypnotics, which I do like the Hypnotics because I like a wild cigar. You got to try the Crazy Alice. So I was like, all right, well, I'll try Crazy Alice, and I fell in love with it instantly. They're a great 45-minute smoke. Like if you have a half hour for lunch and you want to smoke, you kill one in 45 minutes, half hour, 45 minutes.
Have you ever tried a cigar called a Cuba Cuba? It's an acid cigar. It's an infused.
I'm not crazy. I've had the Cuba Cuba. They're pretty all right. I don't hate them, but I'm not a big fan of acids.
I'm gonna smoke one. I'm gonna smoke one on Sunday.
Okay.
Somebody bought me one, and he actually teased me. It's like, well, I bought you one. I said, well, if I buy you one, he goes, well, then I'll have to smoke with you. So I bought him one. So now he's gonna have to smoke with me. So I'm curious. I the cigar shop bud that I bought the two today. I asked the guy about that. I think he said the same thing. He's like, you have to be acid cigars are a little bit different compared to your normal.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. So
because they're machine made. The acids are machine made. Now, don't get me wrong. I do like a good box press. Drew Estates has some really, really nice box press.
Drew Estates is a good one too. Yep.
Oh God, Rocky Patel, the Java Mint. Those are really, really good. Like I said, I'm not crazy about acids. For me, if I'm going to spend the money on a cigar, I'm going to go ahead and spend $8 to $10 on a stick. I think anything over $10 is overpriced, and anything under $8 is not worth spending your money on.
Right.
I've had everything. I've had every range, from $2 to $3, a $2 chuck, which can be really good if they're done right and they're stored properly. A $2 chuck can be an absolutely fine smoke. And I've had $30 cigars that I was disappointed in. One of my least favorite cigars was the My Father 1922. And My Father is this premium brand and it's high-end cigars.
I almost got a sample pack by them, but that's $60 for their sample pack. Someone said that to me that they were good. So
I was disappointed in it. I didn't think it wasn't a bad smoke, but I've had better cigars for less. And
Okay.
like, if I'm gonna spend $14, $18 on a stick,
Yeah.
I can buy 5 of the Edge, the Rocky Patel Edge, or an A10, which is by far my go-to. Like, if I'm gonna sit down and have a stick, the A10 is gonna be my go-to. If I can't get a Crazy Alice or an Ugly Betty or a Fat Bottom, no, it's a Fat Bottom Betty, not an Ugly Betty. And if I can't get a Crazy Alice or a Fat Bottom Betty, the A10 is gonna be my go-to stick, and I can get 2 of those for the same price as one My Father. And for me, the My Father 1922 was disappointing because it wasn't as flavorful as I expected an $18 cigar to be.
Yeah. Well,
And I
and
didn't like.
also too, but it depends on how long it's set on the rack too.
Mhm.
I mean, if it was like a fresh box, great, and they're fresh. But if it's been
Right.
sitting there for a while, I mean, I had the Dulce one that I tried. I had one the other day, and it was horrible. I mean, it didn't.
Right.
The puff was horrible. I like halfway through, I ended up smashing it into the ashtray because it was horrible. So
Right.
I've heard that too. And to me, I can't spend it's like buying a $20 scratch off ticket and winning nothing. You spend $20 on a cigar and it's bad. There goes the enjoyment out of it. So yeah,
Right.
I don't
Right.
spend
And
that kind of money either.
no, and like that's kind of where I'm at on a cigar is like, if I'm going to spend $100, I want to get a good select. Usually when I go into the tobacconist, I'm going to spend $100.
Yeah.
And I want to get $100 worth of product. So I will buy 5 sticks or 10 sticks at $10.
Right.
And because I know what I like, I know what I've experienced the breadth and depth of cigars, and I know what I like. I know where I'm at. I know what flavor profiles I'm looking for. I know what lengths I'm looking for, and so for me, it's very easy for me to look at a stick and go, "Yeah, no, that's gonna stink. It's gonna be too dry. It's gonna be too wet. And that's the other thing is that it may not have been aged properly. It may have been too dry or not dry enough. It may have been, because I'm not sure what issue you had with the particular smoke you were talking about. But, if it's not, if it's not having a good draw, you may not have cut it far enough too. That may be an issue.
But I think I may have cut it too much. I think the last 2 cigars I've had, I've cut them too much. I got to be careful how much I cut off the back.
Yeah, you really only want to take the.
I'm getting smoke out of the back of the cigar, so I think I've cut
that sounds like you cut it too low. Yeah, because you only want to take about a third of the end cap off.
Correct.
You only want to go about. Oh, it's harder I have my thumb on the back side here in the camera one, so you only want to take about that much of the end cap off.
Correct.
Just enough to get to open up the airway. The other thing you can do is if you're having a hard time getting a draw. Now it sounds like you cut it too far, so you're not having issues getting a draw. But if you are having an issue getting a draw, you can take like a pin or a nail, and you can poke a hole in the back of it, and that will help the air flow through the cigar.
I'll do that.
I've done that. I've done that before on some of the harder body cigars. Is you just take a nail and push it through there, and draw it out, and then you'll get a better draw through the cigar.
I got 2 new ones today that I haven't had yet. The guy suggested them to me because I asked him. I said, "Do you have anything that's sweet tasting that isn't flavored infused?" He's like, "Yeah, try these." So I got 2 new ones that I'm going to try. That are not acid cigars. That are not. I have a flavored cigar, vanilla, but I haven't. And it's it's only like that long. It's not. It's like Crazy Alice's are like that. I mean, it's
right.
Me, I wasn't. I thought when you said Crazy Alice, I'm like, okay, it's gonna be that big around and that long. I'm like, wow, yeah. And I get him, and I'm like, wow, that is not what I thought that was. I opened the back.
Yeah, no.
I opened the box was like that big, and I'm like, how did they get those big cigars in that small box? Well, I realized that they weren't cigars.
I should have forewarned you. I wasn't even saying, being a cigar guy and having been around, cigars for the better part of 10 years now, I just assumed that, I wasn't even thinking about forewarning you that there's there's shorties.
That's okay.
And so I was just you were just asking me for recommendations. You wanted to try them. You wanted to find new things to enjoy.
Correct. I'm trying to find my flavors. Yep.
And I was like, because some of there are some wild cigars out there, like the the Asylum Lunatic. That's what you're thinking. It's an 80 by 8.
Yeah, huge.
It's an 80. It's all of that big around.
Yeah.
And that's a monster. And then there's the JFR, I think is what it is.
I would
And that's a
imagine,
monster.
but too, the longer they are and thicker, the longer it takes. So you're looking something like that big. You're talking a 3 hour, 4 hour. So I don't have that kind of time on at least 3 hours.
3 hours.
I don't have that kind of time. I mean, I do on certain days, but
Well, yeah.
I mean, 3 hours, I might as well sit on my patio during the day and not at night. You're going to get eaten alive by mosquitoes. In Florida, you get eaten alive by mosquitoes, especially now that the weather, as it warms up. Yeah.
Forget it.
But anyway, yeah, go ahead, bud. We'll finish up.
I was going to say I was thinking about picking up a couple of the JFR for our trip up north because I was because those are really they're a long haul smoke. And if
I'll
we
bring
take
my
my car,
with me. I'll bring the crazy.
if we take my car, then we can smoke in the car.
Okay.
So because it's my car, I can do whatever I want in it.
Right.
Sounds good to me. So, guys, we were gonna do the fun show this week. We were gonna pick out jerseys, cars, whatever in sports, movies, whatever, just for fun. I don't know who wants to start, but I'm curious to hear what you guys picked. I've got a couple myself, but I'm curious on what you guys – and I've also got, like, notes and stuff, so if we don't get all of the, jersey thing in, I have some notes and articles we can talk about, too. If you guys want to do that, too, it's up to you.
Yeah, because if we don't cut it off now, they're going to spend the next hour and a half talking about cigars.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's gonna be the Walk Report cigar talk. Yeah.
Yeah. That was
No cigar for you.
Yeah, correct.
Well, Gerald brought it up when we were after we went off the air last week when we were hanging out after the show. But he was asking me what if I could have any race car, what race car would I want? And the two that jumped to my mind was a 1987 Ford Thunderbird, Coors, the red Coors, Bill Elliott. That would be one, and then it would have been 96 because I remembered why, because it was the Wheaties car. It was in celebration of the Olympics, the 96 Olympics.
Yes.
And Earnhardt had I think it was the All-Star race. He drove the Wheaties, the orange Wheaties 3, orange paint with the white 3 on it, and those would be two of the ones that I'd want. Because I don't think Rick Hendrick's going to give up T-Rex anytime soon.
I doubt it.
Okay. But if I can actually get this thing to actually share a screen, I think I found the car you're referring to. If I can actually get this thing to share a screen. Hang on just a second. Let me see if I can pull it up here. If this is the car you're referring to. Let's see here. Visit. And speaking of Hendrick, didn't they just get fined the biggest fine in NASCAR history or something like that? That was something that I saw.
$400,000, 100 owner points or 100 driver points per team.
What happened? What?
No, the louvers. NASCAR determined that the louvers that Hendrick was attempting to run 2 weekends ago at Las Vegas or Phoenix, one or the other. Phoenix. They were illegal. And then NASCAR is saying that Hendrick modified them in the race shop because the single source parts aren't supposed to be modified. And Hendrick was saying, no, that's how they came.
Mhm.
We only did them. The only modifications we did was to fit them to the car.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah,
Okay.
that would be sweet.
Cool.
Was that right? Was that 96?
I didn't even know. Yeah, I think so.
97.
But I'm gonna go back here. I think that's
Yeah, I think it was
97, 1997.
97. Okay.
Yeah, it was 97.
I knew
Yeah.
it was.
So I mean that I wanted to see what that car actually looked like. Actually, it's pretty cool. That's actually interesting that I didn't even know he was sponsored by Wheaties. So that's interesting
You know, it was
to
the first
know
NASCAR driver
that.
to get the Wheaties sponsorship. Wow. Yep, he was
Because
the first
wasn't-
NASCAR driver to have the Wheaties.
He was sponsored
What's
by
that?
Wrangler jeans, right? Is that who was his first sponsor?
For a while.
Blue and the
Yeah,
blue and white car.
when he,
Yeah,
Blue and yellow.
when he first came into
blue and yellow.
NASCAR, he was sponsored by Wrangler, which was a blue and yellow number 3. Then later on down the road, the number 3 became the Wranglers became the AC Delco number 3. Then after that, it came the GMAC Plus number 3.
The one that he always, the black one that he always raced.
Yeah,
Right.
the black. Yeah.
The Monte Carlo that he always raced. Yeah.
He had the
Oh,
when Wrangler pulled out.
An Impala, and there was one more that he drove. I don't remember. I think those are the only 2 he drove was the Impala and a Monte Carlo.
Okay.
They drove aluminum.
And he drove aluminum. That's the other one I was thinking of. It was the
He
aluminum.
didn't. He never drove the. He never drove. Did they have? No, he never drove the Impala because they didn't
Yeah,
switch
he
the Impala
drove it.
until 07.
So which car was he racing when he got killed?
He was
Monte
driving aluminum. No,
Oh.
no, it was the Monte Carlo. Because they switched from the Monte Carlo to the Impala.
That's right. That's right.
And see it was in 80, 86, 87, 88, somewhere in the mid to late 80s. I want to say it was 87. I don't remember. I have to look it up. But that's when Goodwin or Wrangler pulls out. Wrangler stopped sponsoring NASCAR altogether, and that's when they had the brand. That's when they had the rebrand, and that's when they went with the black number 3, and GM Goodrich comes aboard. And he drove outside a handful of races. He drove the black number 3 until he passed away. Well, GM Goodrich.
Whoever the Facebook user that says, "Hey, can you please identify yourself?" I don't know who Hey
Is
is.
it Terry?
Don't know.
She
Hang
was
on a
watching Gerald's show earlier.
Let's see here.
Yeah.
Oh no, nope. It's my friend Ariana. Okay, never mind. Okay, that's it. Oh, it's fine. But yeah, okay. So Gerald, you were talking last week. You said Jeff Gordon's Rainbow car. Any of the other ones? Being that you're a NASCAR fan?
I would have to agree with Adam on the Bill Elliott's 87 Ford Thunderbird.
Good car.
The Dale Earnhardt number 3. And more. Junior's number 8, Budweiser. The white
one?
paint scheme that he won in the white one.
The one he won with an 01 or the one he won with an 04?
The white one that he won with.
In 01? When he won
Yeah.
the 400 or the
Yes. The 400.
Okay, because he had an all red car in 04 when he won the 500, didn't he?
Yeah, and when he won the 400, it was the all white.
It was the white car because it was the All-Star game car, right?
Yes.
Okay. That'd be a sweet one. I wonder where that car ended up. I wonder if it's wonder where that car ended up.
Sitting in the Junior's museum.
Is it in Junior's museum? Because I know because that was it was a DEI car. I don't know what happened to all the DEI stuff when they dissolved. No, I didn't know if Junior got it or
That number 8 Budweiser white paint scheme car, that's in Junior's garage. The number 3 is last time I heard it was sitting at DEI, but then again DEI went under, so I don't know if Teresa sold off all that stuff.
see all that black 3 stuff would have been Richard's though.
Yeah.
Because Dale even after he started his own team, he drove for Richard till the end. So
But I
all
do
the black
know
3 stuff would have been Richard's.
on a Dale Junior podcast, he did say
Okay.
he did have that number 8 white paint scheme car in his possession, and he
Very
said
cool.
that car's not going nowhere.
I don't think you could offer him enough money. You couldn't put a number on it. It's just not for sale. And that's one that's just not for sale.
No, because
Not
that's
for
the one
sale,
that
huh?
no he ain't gonna sell that car. I mean, you could walk up with $2.5 million and he still wouldn't sell it.
I think you could walk up with $2.5 billion and he still wouldn't sell it.
Yeah.
Nope.
That one means so much though. That one means so much to everybody. It still chokes me up watching that right. Not even the last 20 laps, just that whole thing.
Adam, you don't say nothing on this. I got a question for Brad. How did Earnhardt Sr. come up with the number 8 for Junior's car?
I have no idea.
Can I? Lou, you got an answer? Got any guess?
I wish I did.
I know the answer.
So do I. I'm curious to see if we have the same answer, because my answer is that's the car that his granddad drove. That was the number that Ralph had.
That's his dad, Ralph Earnhardt, drove the number 8. So when Ralph passed away, Senior bought the number 8 in as a memorial to his dad.
Right. Many years later. That's why he wanted that.
That's why he wanted the number 8 to stay with DEI.
Who was it that drove? Who was Hut Strickland driving for though? Was it Kale's team? Or was it Morgan McClure? Who did Hut drive for? I don't remember now offhand.
I think it was Morgan McClure.
Yeah, that's what I want to say. I think it was Morgan McClure and Senior went and bought the number because that team was going away, and so he went and bought. That would have been 98. I think that with 98, 97, because that's when they make the jump from. Because Junior's first season was 2000, 99.
Yeah, 98.
I think his rookie year. Was his rookie year 98?
Yes, I think so. Either 98 or 99.
I don't remember offhand. Because it was whatever year. Because it was kind of.
But now the number 8 belongs to Richard Childers Racing.
Right. Richard was able to get it back, or was able to get it when Trackhouse bought up Chip Ganassi.
I quoted Richard Childers bought the number back from Teresa.
Well, actually, what happened was when DEI folded, Chip Ganassi bought all of DEI's assets. And then in 2021, when Ganassi gets out of Cup, Trackhouse bought all of Ganassi's assets. And then it would have been last winter, it would have been like in November, December, when Busch signs the contract to drive for RCR. That's when RCR goes to Trackhouse and gets the number, secures the rights to use the number 8 for this upcoming season.
But when I look at the number 8, okay, the number 8 car, I associate it with Junior, and that's the only driver that I associate that car with is Junior.
No,
Just like the number 15, Michael Waltrip drove that one. Then number 1, Steve Parks drove that one for Caterpillar.
Pennzoil.
But Caterpillar was a sponsor on it too.
I don't remember Caterpillar being number 1.
They wouldn't.
Were they an associate?
But they were a secondary sponsor.
Okay. Okay. I don't remember.
I had the number 3, the number 15, the number 1, and the number 8. I'm sorry, no, the number 3 belonged to Richard Childress. So I had the 15, the 1, and the 8.
Mm-hmm. I remember when Mark Martin went over there to drive for them. Almost won in 07. Still mad about that. Still mad about that. 16 years later, I'm still mad about that.
Hey.
Boy, talk about holding a grudge.
Well,
I'm a little upset about that too.
Well, being a diehard Mark Martin apologist comes with the territory. That would be another one. That'd be another one I'd love to have as one of Mark Martin's Valvoline Fords. One of like a 2000 or 2002 Ford Taurus. Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Yeah, it will be. And I tell you another car I wish I could get my hands on too. The very first car that Earnhardt Sr. ever started in. The number 3 Wrangler when he first not when he was in the when he started for driving the number 69 or 70 or whatever number car that was.
One of the original 3 Wrangler cars.
The very first number 3 Wrangler car that ever came out.
Yeah, that would be sweet.
If you could find that car, you know how much that thing would be. You would have to spend to get it.
I can only imagine.
I don't even want to think about it.
You would have to sell your house, your wife, your dog.
Your right arm.
I'm sure there's collectors out there. I'm sure there's a collector out there that has it or has the money to do it. I'm sure.
Yeah.
My wife heard that what I just said about selling her. She goes, "Do you already want to get rid of me?"
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I think RCR has a lot of those cars.
Highlight from the blooper reel.
Now talk about jerseys.
Okay.
I would love to have the Dallas Cowboy throwbacks.
Yes.
Those are the most beautiful uniforms I've ever seen.
Now, would you want a throwback or would you want an original 1970s?
The original 1970.
Yes. Especially 78.
No, I'm talking about when they first came into the league.
Back in 1960.
Yes.
Okay. Nothing from the championship years? Oh, come on.
And if Brad can find a picture of that, he would know what I'm talking about.
Right. Talking about the 1960 Dallas Cowboy jersey?
Yes.
Don't mind me.
Unfortunately, that was not a very good year for the team, though.
It don't matter. I still like that color.
Okay.
And a lot of people don't know this.
Is it the one, Gerald, with the blue with the white shoulder pads?
Yeah, put it up and I can. Before they got the start, okay, they actually had a cowboy riding a horse as the logo.
Right.
Let's see if I can get this to. There's the helmet. There we go. Let me me see if I can. All right, let's see if I can go here.
Now the uniforms they have now are okay, but I like the original. The original are it's part of team history.
Is this the uniform you're referring to?
Come on,
Oh,
come on.
It's thinking. It's thinking.
It's like, do I really want to do this? Hey, Leslie, your mama was a snowblower. Come on.
the internet's slow.
Yeah,
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
It is.
Womp, womp, womp.
My internet wasn't even working for a while.
Uh-oh. Now we've lost everything.
Oh, horses for Toonie.
Uh-oh. Here we go again, folks.
uh,
What did I do now?
we didn't say anything this time. It's just the internet.
Yeah, I think it's just internet acting
Yeah.
screwball.
It's the internet acting up. That's all that is. He'll be back. Or he won't. It depends. Maybe the internet will screw it in it.
I would be going more wacky with severe weather, but not like this.
You got to pay that
Hey,
internet bill.
At least he's got the Three Stooges here.
I'm back.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, I guess my my internet crashed. Sorry about that.
And we entertain the people for 3
It's
minutes.
an epidemic.
Let's see.
Lou would be Mo, Adam would be Larry, and I'd be Curly.
And then Brad be Shep or Joe.
There you go.
Let's see.
Hey, Mo.
The girl and you shuffle. Oh, never mind.
Come here.
See if I can. Is that it right there, Carol?
That's it right there. Yep. Yep.
Okay.
I like
Does
it.
it see?
It's the blue with the white shoulder pads with the star.
I like
Hey,
Those are clean.
Adam, my wife said you make a good Mo.
Is that the only one, Gerald, that you would want? You don't no Texas Longhorn?
Oh yeah, but
Uniform?
I don't know what the old school Longhorn uniforms look like.
What
I don't
about a
think
Cedric
they've
Benson?
changed that much. I don't think they've changed that much.
No.
Burnt orange and white have always been their go-to colors, I think.
I'm fixing to find out.
I think we get him a Cedric Benson, 2003. maybe a Vince Young. We can get him a Vince Young.
Ooh, there you go. There you go. The white one. The all white helmet.
White with the burnt orange 5.
Yep.
That'd
Correct.
be sweet.
Yep.
Get him the orange with the white number.
Mm-hmm.
Cedric Benson, and then the 5, the white, the Rose Bowl. Yeah,
Solid white. They wore all white. White helmets, white tops, white bottoms. Yep.
with the burnt orange, Longhorn. Yeah, those were tight.
Yep.
I know. Strictly.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. I see the one Adam was talking about, the Vince Young one. It's orange, and it's got the white going around the sleeves.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, those are dope.
Oh,
You know, I went into the place that I got my hat. The other one I have it upstairs, and they had a Charles Woodson number 2. I was gonna buy it.
Winner.
I was gonna buy it. I was like, "How much do you have to have for it?" He's like, $175. It's like, well, I'm not buying it then. So I don't have one cent. That would have been all my money. Like I don't have any more money than the 175. Like, damn it all to hell. Because I was gonna buy it. On God, I was gonna buy it. But I just didn't have the 175. I was like, hell. maybe next time. So I just bought the hat instead.
Right.
Lou, do you have one? Do you have a jersey that you want? And past, present, anything like that?
I got a few. Patrick Ewing is number 33.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
The white one or the blue? White or blue?
White.
White. Okay.
Yeah. Try number 11, Messier, of course.
Ah.
That's
You know he's
classic.
going to go with that one. Come on. Who could
Yeah,
forget?
I agree with you. I'd love to have one too.
Game 6 in the Eastern Conference Finals against the Devils.
Oh,
The
yeah, and I
hat
cannot forget one. I forgot
The hat
one.
trick. Yes.
Roger Clemens uniform from when the Texas Rangers won the World Series with Roger Clemens as a pitcher. I know they won. They won a. Was he with the Astros?
He was with
I
the
guess
Stros. And
I think it was
they
a stroke.
lost to
Not
the
with the
Sox.
Yeah, the Astros.
The Rangers never won a World Series. They had a chance, but they
I meant
choked twice.
the Astros. I'm sorry, guys. It's one of those days.
The Yankees.
They choked against the Cardinals too, didn't they not? Didn't
Yeah,
their
this was totally different. I mean, imagine choking twice in extra innings and losing. You lost it in the 9th, and you lost in the 10th, and then in the 11th, David
Wait,
Freese.
Lou, I'm a Red Sox fan. We choke them all away. Come on now. Come on now. How many times have we choked against the Yankees? Come
In
on.
postseason play,
You forget Nolan Ryan.
Yeah.
Nolan Ryan was a great pitcher.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a Nolan Ryan.
Nolan Ryan.
Nolan Ryan. You know what's funny about Nolan Ryan? He never won a Cy Young. Tell me how that happened.
Wow.
How did that not happen? He never won a Cy Young. Never.
That's
in his
7
career.
no-hitters. How could you not?
Lou, look at it. Go back and research it. He never won a Cy Young.
But that's just hard to believe.
Mhm.
Never won one.
I agree.
He
You
was
take a
cheated
schmuck
out of it.
take a schmuck like that Mets pitcher who has really a spectacular record, and he wins 2 Cy Young awards.
I mean, Ryan's one of the best pitchers in history and had never won a Cy Young. Never won a Cy Young.
And Jacob
had
DeGrom was a schmuck, won 2 Cy Young awards.
Yeah.
How many? I don't remember. How many strikeouts did he have in one season?
Nolan Ryan?
365?
Something along those lines. It was a pretty high number.
I remember when Verlander was chasing it about 15 years ago now?
Yeah.
And he
Straight
never won a Cy Young award.
Nope, never won a Cy Young.
No. I mean, I watched a YouTube clip about that. Some guy broke it down. All the years that Nolan pitched went down the years of when he was dominant, and every year, whoever the other guy was, won the Cy Young. They never gave it to Nolan Ryan.
What a
Yeah,
joke.
no one. Well, that's the thing about those awards is that you're not just playing against your competition; you're playing against sports writers.
Correct.
And sports writers won't vote for you because Nolan Ryan was just straight up not friendly to the media.
Correct.
Nolan Ryan had no interest in being friendly to the media. He wasn't a nice guy. He was very curt and very abrupt. And those guys aren't going to vote for you if you don't tickle their balls. If you don't play ball with them, they ain't going to play ball with you.
I get it.
And Nolan Ryan was not a fun guy to interview, from everything I've heard. And maybe I'm wrong. Feel free to correct me in the comments section. I look forward to reading those. But from everything that I've heard about Nolan Ryan, is that he wasn't a media darling. And if you don't have the sports writers in your back pocket, you're not going to win those awards, because they'll be able to judge, well, yeah, he had 18 wins and 208,000 strikeouts and an ERA of 171 and, whatever other, but he wasn't nice to us, so we're giving it to the other guy. He had 16 wins, 107 strikeouts, and an ERA of 3.94, but he was nice to us, you know, and that's the difference is between, a guy that will, a guy can go out there and be dominant, and we're all going, oh yeah, he's a shoo-in for MVP, and it goes to somebody else. We're like, why'd it go to the other guy? It makes no sense. It's simply put, the other guy was friendly to the media.
And that could be very true. That could be very true. Yep. Well, the ones that I picked out, guys, are the following. Some of these are I have a fantasy one, but the first one I have is Derek Jeter's number 2, the white one, the pinstripe uniform. That one definitely. Saku Koivu's Mighty Ducks mauve jersey when he won the Stanley Cup. That's the only cup he ever won in his career. Steve Spurrier's Florida Gator jersey. That one. Jerry Rice, the red Niners jersey.
I know Jerry.
80, that's yeah. And then my last one would be Walter Payton's navy blue Bears jersey, the 34. My favorite running back. He's my favorite running back. So
you might have a problem with that, Bradley, with my brother.
Is he a Peyton fan too?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's
even more than you.
He was my favorite. He's my favorite running back, and I didn't get it really good. I mean, I was too young to watch most of his career. He was already kind of almost on the shelf. I grew up watching Barry and Emmett and, guys like that, the next generation. I missed.
Yeah, I grew up in the Peyton era.
The Peyton, the Campbell, that era that was different. Earl Campbell, Eric Dickerson. I just got into football as those guys were kind of on the tail end of their careers. Like I said, I grew up watching Barry Sanders and Emmitt Smith. And
you missed the shuffling through.
Yeah. But, I mean, Walter Payton was always my favorite to watch. Him and Barry, I don't know who moved more in the backfield than I mean, just, yeah, they were – both of them were great at what they did. And then Jim Brown was the downhill, run you over type runner. Earl Campbell was that way too. So I mean, and then I'm sure I'm missing a whole bunch of them. I mean, like, Ricky Waters, who, guys like that are different style running backs that came up. And unfortunately, the running back position is kind of going away in this era of the NFL. It's a passing league. So the running back is kind of one of those like non-existent positions.
I have a question for you, Lou. Would that have been a Super Bowl shuffle?
I'm not going there.
Well, come on now. They beat my Patriots. Come on now. You can say it. They beat the Patriots that year.
Yes, there was a Super Bowl shuffle. I am ashamed to admit that.
They killed New England that year. Steve Grogan couldn't even get up off the turf.
And that was the thing about that Super Bowl, is that the Patriots weren't even supposed to be there.
No,
it was supposed to be a rematch of that Monday night game. Was Week 13, I believe. When Miami embarrassed the Bears. Miami embarrassed the Bears and showed that 46 defense wasn't all that in a bag of chips. And by luck and coincidence and just sheer football gods hating anything fun, the Bears, the Patriots won that game, and the Bears went on to win the 85 title, and right off into history as one of the greatest defenses of all time.
Correct.
For 2 years. For 2 years.
Water.
When offenses figured out the 46, and Buddy Ryan wasn't able to continue to adapt, and they aged out, that was it for the Bears. They had their moment of glory. And that's the thing, is that if they didn't get it done in 86, they just weren't, or 85, sorry, not 86. They didn't get it done in 85, they just weren't going to get it done.
Correct.
Because Jim McMahon was a screwball.
Yeah, I think he now he's got to go like once a day or once a week to get the fluid drained off of his brain.
Yeah, that was like 10 years ago. I don't know if he still does it or it came up with the procedure, but yeah.
I remember listening to an interview with him a while back on the Jim Rome show, and he told Rome that he's like, hey, I don't, I'll go into the kitchen and forget what I'm doing in there. And I mean, this is a guy that's, in his mid 50s, it's like you shouldn't be forgetting that kind of stuff.
Right.
But who was the player that slammed him on the turf? Who was the guy that picked him up and slammed him down on the turf?
Right.
I forget the name of the player. I've watched the highlight.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Forget the
It was
player
cheap shot.
lifted him and just, WWE slammed him right into the turf. And back then it was actual AstroTurf. It wasn't the grass that we have now today.
Even back then, that was a 15-yard penalty, though.
Yep.
Yes.
And Jim McMahon was a lunatic.
Yep.
He was absolutely nuts.
It was a whack
I don't remember who it was, but I believe it was a game against the Packers.
I believe so. I think you're right. I think it was a divisional game. That defense was stacked. You had, William Perry, Mike Singletary. That defense was stacked. And Buddy Ryan was their defensive coordinator. Of course, he went on to coach the Eagles. That's where I remember Buddy Ryan coaching is the Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Did he coach with the Oilers before he hung it up? I don't remember if I thought he got into it with maybe he was a DC. He got into it with an offensive coordinator. I don't remember who that was.
Yeah.
DC? Okay. Yeah,
he was Buddy Ryan.
Yeah.
Because Buddy Ryan believed offensive football is what you did when the defense needed a rest.
Correct.
So,
wow.
But no, and the thing about Buddy Ryan's and that 46 defense is that if you had the personnel, you could beat it. And when in an 85, when they have the personnel and they can run the 46 properly, it's a world beater. It's a world beater. But then 2 years later, as those guys that's the Singletaries and the Perrys are starting to age out, and it's just Buddy Ryan's. There's 2 years of tape on what the 46 is trying to do, and it's just that West Coast offense of Bill Walsh was a killer for the 46 defense because it was speed in space. You had the West Coast offense had a lot of moving parts, and the 46 was all about positioning. So if you could catch them out of position, then you had green grass to run to. And if you didn't have the athletes to cover the 40 to cover, you were getting burned left, right, and center. And so, that 46 defense, as much as we rave about it and how great it was in 85, it only had a 2-year shelf life, kind of like the Wildcat.
Yeah.
Buddy Ryan got into a fight with Kevin Gilbride.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have ever seen that. They got into a fist fight on the sideline. I forget what it was. If Gilbride's offense wasn't doing something right, tiring Buddy's defense. I don't remember what it was, but they got into it. They got into it on the sideline, if I remember correctly.
Was it in Houston?
It was in Houston. Correct.
Number 7 Michigan went down to number 3 Kansas 93-98 in overtime.
And women's?
I just seen it. Devin posted it.
I was gonna say I don't think the men's team got there unless that's the NIT.
It's gotta be women's.
Tournament East Semis.
Whatever. Don't care.
Yeah, there it is. Cornell upsets Denver. Okay.
Ooh,
Yeah, that's
interesting.
It's college hockey, man.
It is. I mean, that's
Denver's
just sports in general, though.
Well, I was looking at the teams today, and I'm like, you know what? All these guys that are the 4 seeds, I'm like, look out. Watch all 4 of them get to the freaking final, watch all 4 of them. get to the friggin' Frozen Four, the four seeds. They get to
Yeah,
the.
I mean, but that's college sports for you, you know. Just when you think you figured it out, they change the questions.
Yeah. Yep. Well, I mean, like I said, Colgate, the team that's playing in Michigan, I mean, they're pretty. They beat Quinnipiac and Harvard in the same tournament, and I
Right.
mean, back to back, So I mean, Michigan's got to be careful. Michigan beat Minnesota to win the Big Ten, so Michigan was the Big Ten champions in hockey. Everybody points their finger at Minnesota as being the best team. I always thought Quinnipiac was the best team all season. But then they have a tough road. I mean, it's not going to be easy for them either. They could end up getting beat, when it's all.
And you never, hockey is such a fickle mistress because you never know which goalie is going to get hot.
Correct.
You look at Kiprusoff about 15 years ago or 20 years ago now. Good, it's been 20 years now. And not Hobby Bullen, the other one, Jaguar.
John Sebastian
Jaguar actually stood on his head for 18 games. Just absolutely stood on his head, and nearly won the Ducks a title. And
he
then
won the Conn Smythe and got booed.
when the Conn Smythe is losing goalie, and he never got it back. He could never get back to that. Then you have guys, like Ken Dryden. He comes in, wins a title before he wins Rookie of the Year, and has an amazing Hall of Fame, perennial All-Star Hall of Fame career. You never know. You never know who's going to get hot. What's the kid's name in New York? Oh God, Shurkin. Yeah, him.
Shurkin.
And Vasilevsky. Those are the guys that are supposed to, perennial All-Stars, Vezina Trophy winners, and it'll be some rando, the kid from Carolina. I don't remember his name off the top of my head.
How about the kid in Winnipeg?
Right.
Hellebuyck.
Oh God. Oh, Kel. Yeah, and watch one of those two just absolutely stand on their head and knock off New York and Tampa. I mean, and that's just how hockey goes. You're gonna have 3 shots on goal and have 3 goals. You have 30 shots on goal and have no goals.
Right.
There's the Rod Tognott. Oh God, I don't remember who they were facing, but I want to say it was when he was in Edmonton or Ottawa. But he had 73 saves on 75 shots and won in overtime. It's insane.
Yep.
You can pepper the net all night, but if they don't go in the back of the net, they don't count.
Correct.
Funnily enough.
No, I mean, and see, that's the one thing too. I think when you just like in March Madness, you look and say, okay, well, I'm going to pencil all 4 number 1 seeds in the Final Four. Don't go too fast because they got to go through 4 games before they get there, and we already had 1 number 1 seed go down in the first round. So you already have messed up the bracket. So
and then
that's interesting.
And then Kansas goes down in the second round.
Correct.
And you lose another one.
I think Kansas State beat Michigan State, if I'm not mistaken. You could check that and make sure
I haven't. I think they're playing tomorrow night.
Okay.
I really don't care. I hope they lose. That's how I feel about it. They can lose for all I give a damn.
All right, hang on a second. I'm going to check the college hockey as we speak right now and see what's going on
Tomorrow, 30.
Some of the
Still have an hour.
Okay, so the Minnesota Canassus game just dropped the puck. They just dropped the puck. Cornell beat Denver 2-0. Boston beat Western Michigan 5-1. St. Cloud beat Minnesota State 4-0 in the first round. So those teams have been eliminated.
Okay, that was my question.
Let me give you guys the lowdown on each of the games, meaning like shots on goal, all that stuff. Because when I was writing articles before the one I wrote just a few minutes ago, I would go in and check stats and stuff like that to see if there was like a common, like, was there a guy that scored every game? Is it every other game? So it was interesting to read up on all these kids, who did what, when they scored their goals. Was it a power play goal? I saw shorthanded goals. So, I probably doesn't happen that often. All right, so let's see here. Let's go scoring. All right. And it looks like UConn is up over Arkansas 79-56 in there. St. Cloud game, the first goal of the game came in the second period. There were no goals in the first period. I was on a power play. And then they had 2 even strength goals, one in the second, one in the third, and they had an empty net goal to win 4-0. So that's how St. Cloud beat Minnesota State. And Minnesota State was actually I had penciled them down as the Cinderella, and obviously they bumped into a team that was much better than them at St. Cloud.
At least 4 goals better.
4 goals better on that night. In Boston, that's the Terriers. They beat Western Michigan, and that's the Broncos. If anyone out there wants to know who the alma mater is, the mascots, as they call themselves. Boston scored 1 goal in the first, 3 goals in the second, 1 goal in the third. The Broncos' lone goal came in period 2. So that's how that game was final. So basically, the winning goal came in the second period from Boston, winning 2-1. Well, scoring their second goal would have been the 2-1 would have been enough to win the game. So, and then the last game, the Denver game against Cornell. Cornell shut them out. Let's see how many. I'm curious to see how many shots on goal there were. See if I can get the shots on goal for this game in particular. Yeah, Cornell actually scored 2 goals in the first period. First period so there were no goals scored in periods 2 or 3. Wow, that would have been kind of no offense, kind of a boring game to be at. 2 goals in the first period, and then you have no goals in period 2 or 3. Even strength.
I've been to a 2-1 hockey game, and that was amazing hockey.
Yeah,
I think hockey is one sport where you can get away with low scoring because there is so much action.
Yes,
right.
Just because you don't score doesn't mean a 14-7 football game is god awful. A 4-2 basketball game would be god awful. A 2-1 baseball game
boring
is going to stink. But a 2-0 hockey game, especially if each team is getting chances and if each team is getting chances and there's a lot you could have some amazing saves from the goalie that's protecting the shutout.
Yeah.
He can have 5 or 6 great saves that can make a 2-0 hockey game still be an amazing game.
Right.
Denver had 27 shots on goal. All 27 were saved by the goaltender for Cornell. So
29 saves.
27 saves.
27. Yeah, 27 saves. That can be.
If you think about it, I don't know, but I don't know what the average is as far as shots on goal in college hockey. I would imagine 27, 30, 35 would be
Right in there, yeah.
You know, and I'm assuming there's been more. Obviously, like you just said, you can pepper the net and lose 1-0. That's just the way hockey is. You could have 50 shots on goal, and the other team gets a goal by your goaltender, and you can't score one the other way. You could have, you know, I've seen NHL games where the team outshoots the other team 2-1, and they lose. And they lose.
Yeah.
You know, so it happens. It happens.
Yeah, 37-14. Shots on goal, 37-14, and lose 2-1.
Yep, correct. Yeah. And that's just how hockey is. That's just how hockey is.
The beauty of the game. And that's what I love about hockey. Is the game is it's so fast paced. It takes so much talent to play. Yeah. And 6 foot tall, 200-pound men on 8-inch skate blades on half an inch of ice, traveling 25 miles an hour, firing vulcanized rubber at each other. No, yeah, they get to punch each other in the face if they feel like it.
I saw a thing on Twitter. Madison Square Garden. So they set it up for basketball. So they put the basketball floor down, got the jumbotron up, and then they took the jumbotron down, moved all the floor, and there was the ice. It was so cool to watch them transform MSG from a basketball court to a hockey rink. It was so cool to watch them take all the boards off and put the boards up along the wall. It was cool.
Yeah, there's some footage. Yeah, Little Caesars too.
Yes, that's where the Pistons play there, right?
Yep. Because they moved out of the Palace.
One of the weirdest, dumbass moments in basketball history took place in that building. Ron Artest going into the stands.
Yeah.
The artist formerly known as Ron Artest.
What's he called now? Meta World Peace? That's what he's now. It's Meta World Peace.
Yeah, he found religion.
he found God or whatever religion he follows now.
I believe he converted to Islam, but I could be wrong about that.
Okay. Yeah. So he found out. He found out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, he found religion. Yeah. But speaking of that fight, I was thinking about that earlier. I was trying to think of what jerseys I would want, and Chauncey Billups, a white number one Chauncey Billups.
Yeah,
that would be one that I would want. And then the other one, I think it'll surprise Brad, but he was one of my favorite players in the early 2000s for the Lightning, and he'll never guess in a million years because it's not the 2 you're thinking of.
Early 2000s.
Yeah, he was there when we won the cup.
He was on the 04 team.
He was.
So you're not referring to LeCavier or St. Louis.
Nope.
Are you referring to Ruslan Fedotenko?
No, but you're in the ballpark.
Brad Richards.
Nope. I'll give it. It's either I kind of want both of them. It's Dave Anderchuk or Vinny Prosper.
Yeah.
25 and 20. Okay.
I had the biggest man crush on Vinny. I just love the way he played the game. I was always a fan of the grind line. Darren McCarty, Chris Draper, Kurt Maltby, Joey Koster. I met Koster and I met McCarty. Both really cool guys. Highly recommend if you get a chance to meet them. They're both really cool guys. Got both their autographs. Definitely really cool guys. Highly recommend them. So I instantly fell in love with how Vinny played the game. I thought he was great. And I want the black jersey with the
original logo,
the blue numerals and the Lightning emblem on the shoulder. That's the one I want with the white band around the belly.
Correct. I know what you're referring to.
Yeah, those are the ones.
I have out of the original team. I have Fedotenko, Javi Bulin, and St. Louis. Those are the jerseys I have. The old what was the brand maker back then?
Reebok? Did they Reebok?
No, it wasn't Reebok. It was
CMC or CCM?
There you go. CMC. It was CMC. And those things are so heavy compared to the jerseys they wear now. That material was so heavy. But yeah, that I have those, and then I have the next. So when the team switched from the black and white to the blue and white, I have Vinny Lecavallier's third jersey, and I have a Marty St. Louis and Stamkos in the white with the blue logo. With it just says Tampa Bay. There's no lightning beneath it. That's how they changed the logo. And then the newest ones I have a black third jersey that says Bolts Victor Hedman, and then I have the Steven Stamkos, the one that they wear now, the blue, the home blue 91. I want retro blue one, but I want Vasilevsky, so I have to get one of those.
There you go.
So
I'd like a vintage. God, if I had $85, I would have bought it. But there was a game worn Larry Murphy at this it was like an autographed store, and it had that kind of like memorabilia. It was a memorabilia place in the mall, and I just didn't have $85. It was a Larry Murphy with the tie down strap and everything.
Oh, nice!
It was game worn. I don't remember. I don't think it was autographed. But it was game worn with the tie down strap and everything. And if I had the $85, I would have bought it. But of course, being like 16, I didn't have $85.
Lou, how about a blue or white Mike Richter jersey, the 32?
Oh, I'll
take it.
I mean, I'm a Marty Brodeur fan, and you know what? I actually like the white jersey than the red. I like the Devils white than their home red. Mm-hmm. And 30 is my favorite number, so that's the thing. He wore my number, so he's my favorite goalie.
Mine too.
And then of course Patrick Waugh, 33. Wow. I like the Avalanche jerseys that have the Bigfoot. On the side of the jersey. They took that away. Now they either wear the Colorado C, or the flag itself. I would say the Colorado, but and they've changed the jersey. The jersey's gotten I think the colors have gotten darker or more 3D.
Yes,
more vibrant.
Then they, the good news is, at least with the original 6, none of those jerseys have really gone through a major change. They're all still red, white for the Red Wings, the tire logo. The Rangers have never changed the logo. The Leafs just put a stitch in the leaf every year to change their logo. Montreal's never changed the C with the H in the middle. Chicago, the Blackhawks have never changed their logo. So the original 6 have stayed with their same color, same colors, and they may tweak colors here or there, but they keep the same general color scheme. They haven't changed anything. So, and I think the NHL, that's one of the articles I had up, that I think they're stopping the whole throwback retro thing is actually done. They're not going to do it no more. So no more weird jerseys in the future for any team. So
those were god awful. There was like 3 of them that were halfway decent.
The Lightning one is god awful. The Lightning one
is terrible. It just looks stupid. It was scripted right across with black and red stripes. That's dumb. It's just for your regular jerseys.
And you can go back and look look at the Green Bay Packer one that looks like a freaking inmate uniform. The dark blue and yellow looks like an inmate, and with no number on the helmet, no logo, not the G. So yeah, there's some ugly uniforms through the in every sport. in every sport, there's been ugly jerseys through the years. You're like, let's not wear that jersey anymore. That's not.
Yeah. This is a dumpster. This is a fire in a dumpster.
Yeah.
These are these god awful uniforms in a dumpster.
Right.
In a fire.
That belongs in the dumpster.
That's where I think, that's why the Buccaneers are afraid to wear the creamsicle and white, because they had lost so many games.
I hated the creamsicle and
I don't know what the hell is going on with them. They need to wake up. The Lightning are losing 6-2 to Ottawa. They look horrible. They look horrible. Again. They look horrible.
Are they locked in?
They have a playoff spot, but they're going to play Toronto in the first round. And if they keep playing like they're playing now, it'll be a 4 and done. Toronto will get to the second round of the playoffs for the first time since 2004.
That doesn't sound like a good thing.
Nah, I want Toronto to keep suffering.
I do too. Toronto's
Yeah.
a sucker.
They can keep suffering. Well, if they do get to the second round, let them play Boston. Just let them play Boston because they can't beat them either. They win 3 games and then Boston comes
Yeah,
back.
but they both can't lose that way.
Boston
Right.
comes back and beats them. So it is what it
Well,
is.
I think Boston is it's got to be your odds-on favorite to win it all.
Yeah, are they going to set the record for wins in the season?
They're gonna get damn close.
They're going to get very close.
What is the record? Is it
64 and 95 by the Wings, if I remember. Right?
The
64,
Wings?
65? I know it was
Yes.
Detroit. I know it was 95, and I want to say it was the mid-60s.
Unfortunately, though, that they lost to the Avalanche in the conference finals that year.
They lost to the Devils in the Cup finals.
Well, I mean, when they broke the record, that was
They lost to the Devils in the Cup finals. They would lose to Colorado in 96 in the conference finals.
right.
Then in
But
97, they did.
Right,
But
it says
remember,
through 70 games, the Bruins are on pace to win 63,
Hmm.
and they are the fastest team to 50 in NHL history. The current record for most wins in a season is 62 by the 95-96 Detroit Red Wings, who finished 62-13-7 and are tied with the 2018-2019 Tampa Bay Lightning. Yeah, I don't even want to talk about that season because that was not good.
Right.
We got to the first round of the playoffs, and Columbus shoot us out of the playoffs in 4 games. So,
Yes.
yeah.
I
don't
believe
We don't like to talk about that because then the next 2 years we woke up and won the cup the next 2 seasons.
Right.
But it took an ass beating by the Blue Jackets and John
What a-
Tortorella to wake us up.
Look at the Blue Jackets now. They're pathetic.
They're going to get the first overall pick.
Yeah.
I think they're going to get the first overall pick.
They should.
I'm going to take that kid Connor Bernard, eh?
Yeah, he's the top. He's the first. Yep, he's the number one. He's a generation type guy, and I think it was Utree. Somebody said we don't need another Connor. Change his name. We already have one good Connor. We don't need another one.
Right.
Connor McDavid.
Little-
Anyone out there who doesn't know hockey, they're referring to Connor McDavid.
He's a good one, too.
Does he have 50 goals? Is that what he just?
McDavid? I'm
50
not
the other
sure.
day?
After we fell apart before the trade deadline, I haven't been paying as much attention.
Let me see something. I'm gonna look that up real quick. Connor McDavid.
Connor McJesus.
There we go. Let's see.
Well,
Let's see here. He was picked first. He was picked in 2015. He has 60 goals. 60 goals. He's got 138 points right now. He's got 60 goals and 78 assists.
Nowhere near the record.
He's a plus 16 right now. Yeah, wow. That's interesting. Okay.
That's good, though.
Yeah.
Nowhere near the record on either one.
He's this is the most goals he's ever scored in his career. He had 44 a year ago, but he has 60 right now. He's got more goals this year than he ever has. This has been the best year of his career up till this point, and he's only 26. Whew. 26-year-old kid is scoring 60 goals in a season or more. The season's, I think there's 10 games.
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
10 games left. So
Gretzky was doing that when he was 16.
yeah. Yep.
No, I know it's not. I know it's not fair to compare McDavid to Gretzky, but
Well, you can because they play on the same team.
when playing 2 separate eras, though, the eras are so different.
Correct.
I mean, Gretzky was a goal a night guy, though. Jesus. What is it? 83 that he set the record? 84?
Something like that.
With 92 goals. It's insane.
No one has even come close to that.
Was it Solani in 93 with 72?
Oh, yeah.
I think Solani was the only one to get even close. Because
He did.
Mario never did it.
That was in his rookie year, right?
Yes, it was.
Season. Yeah.
He still
Set the
30
most goals for a rookie. He was the one that set that goal, that record.
correct. He still has it some 40 years later.
I don't think that may not be one that never gets broken.
That's when it's going to be tough to break.
Yeah.
That's still a goal and a half a game.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is that the thing that helped Gretzky and Solani and Lemieux score so many goals, score so many points is they played 2-minute shifts.
Correct.
Now you're playing 45-second shifts on the long end.
Right.
And so if you're only out there for 40, you might get 10 or 15 shifts a period, but it's a lot of, most of that time is spent in the neutral zone trying to generate end zone opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I was just trying to figure out how to phrase it. Well, if you spend half your shift in the neutral zone trying to create chances, 20 seconds has already passed before you're even in the zone, and so then you're it's one shot and you're off the ice.
Yep, that is correct.
And so creating opportunities to score, that's changed. That's one of the reasons the game has changed so much is because shifts are so much shorter.
Right.
When Gretzky and Lemieux were in the league, they were playing a minute and a half, minute 45, 2-minute shifts. Now, Mark Crawford was one that innovated the shorter shifts, 45-second, a minute long shifts, quick shifts.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping everybody fresh, rolling all 4 lines all game.
I'm actually checking in with Ralph real quick to see if he wants to keep the article or he wants me to rewrite something else because there's been games that have already been decided. So,
Right.
Yeah, I like writing. I'm having a good time doing it.
Yeah,
I just gotta do it better.
I'll be honest with you, but I've been doing it for like almost 3 years now. It's fun when you get to go to events and you get to experience with other people there, other writers that are there. I've met a lot of great people through the years. One of the guys who actually, got me into calling high school football. So that's cool because I'll be doing that in the fall. So that'll be cool. But yeah, I mean, it's fun. I enjoy it. If I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I've been enjoying it the last 3 weeks. I think my first article was Vegas.
Okay.
Yeah, because I didn't do. I was just sitting at work, kind of just thinking about stuff. I was like, well, I'll just write it down, and I wrote it down. I was like, well, I'll send it to Brad, and I just wanted you to proofread it and tell me what you thought about it. You're like, we could use this on the show. I was like, all right, I'm gonna get with Ralph and see if he's looking for writers. And so I shot him a message, and I didn't hear anything back. And then he messaged me back the next morning, and I didn't hear anything back. I was like, okay, let me try this other Ralph. So I tried the other Ralph, and that one was the right one. And so one bada bing, bada boom, one thing led to another, and I turned in my first article, and he edited it up and put it on the website. And
he's always looking for new writers, especially if it's something that the website doesn't have. So if there's a sport that, and I don't think he has any NASCAR. I don't think he had a NASCAR writer prior. And that when I started writing about golf, he's like, I got to get you on, man. Because if you cover that stuff that they don't cover, you get more readers. Because now all of a sudden, now we have a NASCAR writer. So I'm going to go read what he thinks about the race, and stuff like that. So
it's been fun writing the last handful of weeks now. I'm really enjoying it.
Where are they at this week? Are they in Atlanta? Is that where they're at this week?
That was where they were last week. They're at Coda this week.
Okay.
They're in Gerald's neck of the woods.
Texas.
The Lone Star State.
Pretty much my backyard.
But not quite.
No, not quite.
It's a little too crowded in your backyard for 50,000 people with 40 race cars.
Let's close by. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Not quite walking distance, but close.
Lou, they're going to allow 18 live members to play in the Masters. 18 live members got invited to play in the Masters.
Huh.
That's Dustin Johnson, Phil Mickelson, because those guys have won. Those two have won green jackets, so I think they're automatically allowed back.
Right.
I don't know who the
You
other.
mentioned the chagrin of the PGA.
Yeah.
Because I remember last year when Liv started and they were like, come hell or high water, you're not playing in any of our tournaments. And no, I guess you guys can play. Don't tell anyone.
Yeah,
I mean,
don't advertise you play on the Live Tour.
we'll make an exception this one time. Guess. I don't know.
Did any of you guys watch the closing of the World Baseball Classic?
Yes.
Teammate struck out teammate.
Did Shohei strike out Trout?
Mike Trout to end the game. Yeah, Japan won. Japan won. He struck out Mike Trout to end the game.
Oh, I was worried about that. I was afraid we used up our best stuff against Cuba.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, before that, the only team that had beaten us was Mexico. So
kicked the living stuffing out of Cuba.
Yep.
14-2, and I was worried about that.
Well, speaking of that, next week, opening day is what? Next
Thursday.
Wednesday?
Thursday?
Thursday?
It would be Thursday.
The Rays play the Tigers at Tropicana Field on the 31st.
That'll be fun.
So
You can have that one. You'll get 3 wins. It's a good way
to start the year.
Start the season.
Who's the manager for the Tigers again? The guy that used to coach. Yeah,
AJ Hinch.
AJ Hinch, the former Astros manager.
Yeah. He's got a long way to go. They need to start stealing some signs.
Yeah.
Do you
Surprise me.
think with the Astros winning the World Series last year that they put asleep the cheating scandal that happened back?
Never.
Not in Boston, not in New York,
Not in L.A.?
not in LA. No, I don't think that Boston, New York, or LA will ever let it go. I think most everybody else will be ready. My biggest problem was just the whole thing, came out before the pandemic, right? Right before the pandemic starts, this whole thing blows up. And then the pandemic happens, and we have no baseball for 5 months. And then we have a shortened 60-game season. And so, there wasn't any time to really hate the Astros. And there wasn't a lot of time for revenge. And by the time we get to 2021 and the whole thing is, kind of over and done with as far as I was concerned. And I understand for Boston and New York, LA, it's different for them because they lost. But being a Tigers fan, I just couldn't care any less anymore. It's 2023. That stuff happened in 2019. They're not taking away the rings. They're not taking the championship banners down.
Is it time to just forget about it, move on now? This is 2023, and
some teams won't let that down.
No, I agree. I agree with you on that. I don't think. Yeah, I agree. I don't think there's going to be certain teams that'll ever let it go. But I would, and then like you said, like Adam mentioned, the one team that got lucky there was a pandemic was Houston, because they would have gotten, what, at every ballpark they went to in the MLB. They would have been torn apart, whatever, and they got lucky. There were no fans allowed in the stands in 2020, so they were the luckiest franchise to have it that way. But yeah, I think they took a huge step forward last year, winning the World Series, without cheating, as far as we know.
Right.
As far as we know right now, that they are,
above board, as it were.
yeah, I mean,
Yes.
do you guys pencil them in as the favorite to repeat, or is there somebody else out there that you can look at and say, is it the Yankees? Is it the Rays? Is it the Phillies? Is it the Mets? Is it Atlanta? I mean, I'm just thinking new teams that,
Yes, no, maybe. Honestly.
Diamondback.
the Diamondbacks. That's a long shot. That's a long shot.
Too long.
I don't see the Diamondbacks. They just.
How about the Reds? How about the Reds? We'll put the Reds in there. Pirates.
Mariners are going to make some noise.
I agree.
If the Angels can ever get it all together, and that's the thing about having two superstars like Ohtani and Trout, is that there's nobody else. They have Ohtani and Trout and nothing.
Correct.
They have Ohtani and Trout in a bag of balls at this point.
I think the team that's all in this year and they got to win is the Padres. They have got to do something in San Diego. You have Soto. You just signed what's his name to an extension? Machado. They just signed Machado to an extension. Yeah. Soto's going to get paid. Whether he gets paid in San Diego or he gets paid somewhere else. They've got superstars. And who was the player that was out last year for steroids? Why does his name escape me? For San Diego. Who sat out the season last year with steroid issue? We thought he would cheat the system. I can't think of his name.
Is it Wander Franco?
No. Wander Franco plays for the Rays. He's a Ray. He's a shortstop.
I know who you're talking about, but I don't remember him offhand.
I don't remember the name of the player who was out last year, but I think San Diego, and I forget who they picked up during free agency, but they went all in to pay all these players. It better come together or it's going to implode.
Yes.
And we'll be right back to where they started.
Lou, correct me if I'm wrong. Have they ever been to the World Series? Have they won one?
They have never won. They've never won.
What, 99 and 84?
They went 99 against the Yankees and they got swept.
And they went, what, did they lose? Did they win 1 in 84?
No, that went to the Tigers.
But did they win a game?
I think they won a game, yeah. But
yeah, I think the Tigers won it in 5. If I remember right.
So the Pirates have been to 2 World Series and lost both times they've been to the World. Okay, the postseason. Okay.
They went a poverty franchise.
Well, speaking of poverty franchises, it doesn't get any worse than Oakland. So there you go. Between Oakland and Tampa Bay, I don't know who needs a new stadium more. Somebody does. Somebody needs a new stadium.
I think Oakland does.
Yeah.
I heard a rumor that the Brewers may be leaving Milwaukee.
Really? Wow. That's interesting.
About that, yes.
Did you hear that too?
But not for a while.
Maybe. Depends on how the stadium thing works out. Because the Republican legislature blocked funding for a new stadium.
Gee, first you lose the Braves and now you lose this.
Maybe.
Yep.
And they don't have all they got if they lose would be the Bucks and Packers, right?
Well,
yes.
The Packers are Green Bay, so
yeah, Wisconsin would only have just the Bucks, and if they lose the Brewers, it would just be pro football and basketball would be the only thing. And then of course college. They have the Badger stuff, but that's
we don't need no stinking Badgers.
Stinking Badgers.
I got to see Wisconsin. They played USF when who was their running back?
Jonathan Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor. He's in the NFL now,
I'm so glad he's in Indy now.
well, no, I got to see him run all over us, dude. I mean, it was like a high school game. Like he was running, he was in college,
Yeah.
everybody else was in high school. That's just
He
how
just
good he
stomped the
was.
shit out of y'all.
Because I'm like, well, maybe we'll put up a fight. Nah, didn't even put up a fight. We just got killed. We just got killed.
Yeah, I thought that y'all would give Wisconsin a game. You gave them a game. It was in fact you gave them the game.
Yeah.
You're like, here, have a game.
Well, here's my question now. The second home game, third game on the calendar, second home game of this season is against Alabama. So my curiosity is saying, how bad is it going to be? How bad
55 points.
is it going to be? Is it going to be 55? Is it going to be 60? It would be great if we can score 21, 28 points against them and lose 56-28. That would be great. I don't know if that's going to happen. And you know what? I could be totally wrong, and we could shock the whole college football world that night and beat them. Because I think it's a night game. I think it's
That would, well,
7 o'clock kick.
not only would you shock the whole college world, you'd send Nick Saban into an early grave.
Which is the
Forget early
idea.
retirement.
True.
Forget early retirement.
That's the idea. Just send Nick Saban into my grave.
That
I
would be
mean, I think he just have a heart attack and die there on the sideline. Couldn't even
Tampa.
get back to-
die on the sidelines in Tampa. I can read the headline. I'm typing up my article. And we'd like to send our condolences to the family of Nick Saban, who died peacefully on the sideline.
On the sideline.
I don't think it would either.
At Raymond James
At
Stadium.
the 30-yard line.
I'm
At the
coming,
30-yard
Elizabeth.
Died on the sidelines at Raymond James Stadium. Oh, my
Oh
goodness.
my god! Could you imagine that? That'd be
I'm
insane.
visioning it right now.
Oh, yeah. Like I said,
I got a better idea.
I was told by my buddy who has season tickets that Alabama fans have already hit him up for he's got 4 club level seats, and they've already hit him up and they've already paid him double what he paid for his season tickets.
Well, I got a
Double
better idea.
for that one game.
We'll move the buddy over to Giant Stadium. We can bring it right next to Jimmy Hoffa.
There you go, Lou. There you go. There you go.
Jimmy Hoffa's in the Detroit River, and everyone knows it.
No, it's in the Midlands.
He disappeared. He disappeared in Grattan. I forget now. It's at the bottom of the Detroit River.
There was a
We're in concrete shoes.
there's a movie about Jimmy Hoffa. Oh, it's Ray Romano's in it. He's the lawyer of Jimmy Hoffa's lawyer, or the lawyer of Jimmy Hoffa's what do they call it? Union that he was a part of. And it was one of those serious. I was watching a Watch Mojo clip on YouTube. I'm an avid YouTube watcher, and I was watching a clip the other day, and that was like number 7. And Ray Romano it's like comedians in serious roles, and some of the movies that were listed in there are like really good. I mean, they're not bad movies. I mean, one of my favorite movies of all time, I had Bill Murray, Lost in Translation. That was one of my favorite movies, Scarlett Johansson. But that was a serious role for Bill Murray compared to Caddyshack or Ghostbusters or Groundhog Day, movies like that. And then, Adam Sandler was on that list. He's got a lot of, but, Uncut Gems was a good movie.
I've not seen that.
Take a watch. If you guys haven't seen Uncut Gems, watch it. It's really interesting to see the different side of Adam Sandler that you don't normally get to see.
Right.
I enjoyed the movie. I'm not really a big Adam Sandler fan, but
neither am I.
he did a very good job in Uncut Gems. So, and I think it's based in New York. I think it was the shop that he ran was in New. I could be wrong, but I think it was in New York.
Yes.
So,
Who better?
but yeah. Speaking of Jimmy Hoffa, the unsolved mystery of where he's located.
Well, it's Giant Stadium, so if we have that, we can put the two next together. That'd be interesting.
The same thing with who killed Tupac and who killed Biggie Smalls too, because no one can figure out that either. So, those two are unsolved mysteries too. So
DB Cooper and where the money went.
correct. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I still think he got away with it.
Yep. Correct.
Oh, yeah.
I can honestly say I think Suge Knight had something to do with Tupac's death. I could be totally wrong, but I think
That's what I've heard. I've heard that same thing.
I think he had something to do with it. I think he set it up. He was driving the car when Tupac got shot. I think that was all a setup.
Yep.
'Cause I think Tupac was getting close to Dr. Dre, and Dre then started Aftermath Records. Of course, now I'm talking rap, like I know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
But I was an NWA fan, so
I want to see that.
and that movie was good too, bud. By the way, if you haven't seen
it looked really good.
it, I was impressed. I was really impressed with how much they got right. With them, them coming up. Because basically yes, do they have a lot of violence in there? Yes. But they were telling you what life was like in the 90s in Compton, California. They were telling you, giving you a picture of what they went through in their daily lives. Being shot at, whatever. Whatever was going on in Compton, California at the time. Might still be going on in Compton, California as we speak. So, yeah. Well, guys, I don't have anything else. If anybody else wants to close with anything, you can go right ahead because I don't have anything else.
All right. All right. So, Enhanced Sports Show, Saturday, 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Number to call, 512-543-4662. We're going to be talking the NCAA Sweet 16. We'll now be down to 12 by the time we get there to Saturday. We'll also talk some NIT as well. Yeah, I know you're thinking you're going to talk what? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we'll also have the final results of the World Baseball Classic, which didn't go the way we planned, but that's how it went. Yeah. Of course, all the latest in the MLB, NBA, NHL. There was an interesting UFC matchup that we'll discuss on Saturday as well. If those of you who saw it, you know what I'm talking about. And of course, we'll also have the best and worst of the month. It's that week of the year. We always look back on the best and worst sports moments of each month. And I've got a few in both categories. And it's a special show this week. So if you get a chance, but you'll have to call in and find out what it is. I'm not doing any secrets.
It's good, Lou. Don't give anything away. Let them call in. Let them tune in.
Sorry, Gerald.
That's what somebody used to tell me. They go, stop telling everybody what you're talking about. Make them listen. Make them watch. So I don't kind of give away too much information.
So if you got time Saturday, 4 to 6, call in, and you'll find out why.
Cool beans. All right, guys. Well, this was a fun show. I think we got off the rails a couple of times, especially the cigar talk in the beginning of the show and stuff like that. But we did get to talk about the jerseys and cars that we would want. That was cool. We'll be back, guys, next week, same time, 8 p.m. By the way, I'm going to update this program next month. I'm going to start next month, the first show in June. I'm jumping months. The first show in April. Excuse me, guys. I'm jumping way ahead. The first show in April, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade this in time for our, we have Jeff Barnes coming on in a couple weeks right before the draft. And that show should be fun because I think we're going to do a kind of a show with Gerald's show. It'd be good to get on. And guys, by the way, in case you're watching this show, Gerald's got an awesome show that comes on right before mine. He's in the Central Time Zone, but he comes on right before mine. And Lou's got an awesome show too. Listen to his on the weekend. I've been on it. I've been on Lou's show a couple times. He's got
a couple.
A lot of information. But until next week, guys, go ahead.
Read my article. Well, we're plugging stuff. Read my articles.
Yes, Adam is a writer on NGFC. Head over there. I made a comment about his first article.
You need to send me a copy of it.
Okay, I can do that. Jim,
and
wait.
Mr. Bradley Walker.
I'll send you a copy. I'll get you a copy of the show. I promise. I told you I would. I'll get you a copy.
So that way we can get it on the network and start getting more subscribers.
Yes.
Yes.
Until then, guys, tune in next week. We love all you guys that tuned in. The show will be on the Walker Report YouTube page following the show. We are part of NGSC Sports, guys. Remember the website. It's ngscsports.com. Head over there. You can read Adam and mine's articles that are on the website over there. We are also part of Snowman Multimedia Sports, the Game Winner Sports Network, and Mancini Media. So, guys, until next week, we love all of you. Thanks to our 3 sponsors, CreatingZenSpaces.com, Garrett'sCarrots.com, and FunWags.com. And I will be back. I'm going to run through the sponsorship for the golf tournament next week, guys. But until then, we all love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Until then, I am the sports journalist Bradley Walker. Peace.
Have a cigar.
Spend it. Absolutely.